So that's step number one, is just to understand what membership is. And at the heart of membership is saying yes to be a participant in our mission. It's becoming a member of the mission, such that our mission is your mission and our mission becomes a shared mission. And so step two is to really look at the mission as articulated through our mission statement, to understand it, and to ask yourself, is this a mission that I am inspired to be a part of? Let me read it for you and unpack some of these different lines. One Nation Party USA mission. Our mission is to integrate those dedicated to planetary paradise, to empower all-win leaders to steward civilization redesign in all sectors and at all scales, to utilize the existing systems of government to accelerate societal transformations that enable our individual and collective potential, and to inspire all people to realize and remember that we are all creators on a mission. So we could spend an hour unpacking this. It's deep, it's rich, there's a lot contained here. I'm gonna circle back around and reread the mission statement and just kind of speak a little bit into each line. Our mission is to integrate those dedicated to planetary paradise. Integrate. We are wanting to integrate those individuals that believe that we can create planetary paradise and that we can use American politics and American government as a launch pad to be able to do so. Whether those are thought leaders or other types of express leaders in the world, or just individuals who have this paradigm, have this orientation, but have it come into a large collective context of organizing. We're also talking about integrating organizations that are working on various facets of that and actually helping to be a context to bring those organizations together so that we can have dozens of organizations working in harmonic relationship in an integrated fashion in order to make sure that our organizations aren't working in silos, but are working in a fully integrated way. So we're going to integrate the people and the organizations that are ready to tangibly and tactically work towards full systemic transformation towards planetary paradise. So if you are that, if that describes you, then membership within One Nation will help you to integrate with other people and other organizations that are dedicated to the same thing. The second part of the mission, to empower all-win leaders to steward civilization redesign in all sectors and at all scales. Excuse me. So all-win is a topic you may or may not have heard much about. It's what we're referring to as our new political paradigm. It's a paradigm that transcends us versus them thinking, where different groups are fighting each other in order to gain benefit at the detriment of the other group. And all-win just moves us into a space of saying, no, we're not, this isn't about some group winning, another group losing. This is about listening to all different perspectives on any given topic and integrating those different perspectives with a level of rigor and a level of care to understand the fears and the concerns and the needs and the wants of all different stakeholders, and to apply our great American ingenuity to invent solutions through creativity that enable us to move forward into the next era of humanity, the next era of American politics, with better solutions that everybody can inherently see is a win for them, a win for their posterity, a win for all of humanity, and a win for all of life. So an all-win leader is someone who's dedicated to showing up that way. And we're going to talk about all-win leadership in a little bit. And we are here to empower all-win leaders to steward all the different sectors of society. So stewarding government is kind of the most pronounced. As a political party, we're looking to help all-win leaders to become mayors, to become governors, to become state representatives, to become congressional representatives, to become presidents and prime ministers around the world. But we are also helping and wanting to bring all-win leaders into positions of corporate leadership, into the nonprofit sectors, into community, into culture, into media, so that over the years, decades, and generations to come, through our mission, we'll have hundreds and thousands and ultimately millions of All-Win leaders stewarding all different domains of society with a shared paradigm and a shared set of principles to be All-Win leaders, working at the largest scale of multinational corporations and international affairs, all the way to the micro scales of a local business, a local community, even a family, even a group of friends. The next part of our mission is to utilize the existing systems of government to accelerate societal transformations that enable our individual and collective potential. So we want to fully utilize our existing systems of government by electing people into those positions of stewardship that share the All-Win paradigm, as well as by developing policies that allow us to deploy public budgets in service to the most critical aspects of societal redesign, of human healing, of ecological healing, of developing new economic models, new social models that help us to move beyond this kind of win-lose, growth at all costs, profit-centered global culture that we've created into a next mature culture of human stewardship. And so we want governments to actually be counterintuitively, ironically, the drivers of this change in era. And despite the fact that there's deeply ulterior motives in government, there's incumbent interests in government that are deeply entrenched, there is a deep amount of corruption in government, there's a deep amount of abuse of power, there are networks of power that are almost impossible to fully comprehend. And yet, despite that, we still believe that we can move people into positions of city leadership, state leadership, county leadership, and even national leadership that are carrying this call as the statesmen and the stateswomen of this next era of humanity, that despite those existing interests, that we do believe that those interests can and will give way as this rising generation, this rising consciousness that we carry, organizes, takes ourselves extremely seriously, and doesn't wait for permission, but just decides to move in the halls of government across the country, across the world, so that government can be in direct service to individuals actualizing, so we can develop our emotional and intellectual capacities, we can develop our physical capacities, we can develop our creative capacities, we can develop our social capacities, we can heal from all different forms of trauma and fear that are totally incessant for most people. And we can create economic models that center and revolve around individual thriving and holistic well-being. And we can use governments to look at what is the total collective potential of humanity. What is the most amazing city we can create, the most amazing state we can create, the most amazing nation, the most amazing world that we can create. If we can imagine it, we can create it. And if we are ready to say yes to stepping into governmental leadership, then we can use the systems of government to be able to accelerate our actualization of our visions, of our collective potential of a new era of humanity. And lastly, to inspire all people to realize and to remember that we are all creators, to help us to wake up from our disempowerment, to wake up from our fatigue and our lethargy and our apathy and our despair and our disengagement and our victimization, and to realize and remember that we are all creators. We are creating this world. We have to take responsibility for the role we've played in creating this world. And we have to realize that we have the power to create whatever we want next. And that each person, I believe, and the premise of our organization revolves around this, that people here on earth have a mission. Each person has a unique co-creative capacity, has a unique genius, has a unique sense of purpose. As we can help people to connect to that sense of purpose when they get out of just trying to survive, or get out of just trying to make money, or get out of all the cultural programs of what success should look like, or get out of the fears, the patterns of victimization and despair. That each person can realize that they have a special mission here. That they are a creator on a mission. And so our mission is to help people realize that they have a mission, and to help create a context of empowerment and support and organizing so that their missions can be fully actualized, and that they can respect the missions of others, and that each person can then become an actualizer and an empowerer of other people's missions, so that we create a popcorn effect of people who are finding their missions, that are inspiring other people to find their missions. And I believe that we can create a world in which 8 billion people on earth are alive with the flame of realizing and remembering that they too are a creator, and that they too have a mission. And it may take years, it may take decades, it may take generations. But our mission is to inspire all people to realize and remember that we are all creators on a shared mission. And so with that, I ask you, are you inspired by this mission? Are you inspired to participate in the fulfillment of this mission? Because that's what membership is. When you say yes to that, you're saying yes to be a member, not of an organization, not of a network, not only of a political party, but a member of a mission. And we're inviting you to partner with us so that we can create and fulfill this mission together. So that's the first question, is are you inspired to participate in the fulfillment of this mission?